I love warping minds for you, Megatron!
Welcome back to another edition of Tea and Toys. This time we have got the Transformers Legacy Evolution Insecticon Bombshell. Here he is in all his glory. I've waited a little while to get the trio back together on the shelf. The trio doesn't often happen all in the same scale. Now with the Legends sized ones, again, that took forever for them all to come out, and each one has a different gimmick. And I think from memory, the shrapnel was a little bit too small compared to the other two. Like, not overly much, but it's definitely noticeable. And before that, we had the War for Cybertron. I think they only ever did the kickback there. So sometimes it's taken forever to get a trio. If you want those legend sized ones, I think they're still available on most places like eBay and all those second-hand selling places. A lot of people have them as their definitive Insecticons because they are, let's say, I think they're about this size, which again is too small for the Autobot mini vehicles, which the scale of the Insecticons should be a bit more accurate too. Like, they're meant to be about this big, so between Bumblebee and Brawn here, they're meant to be that big. But this new trio of Insecticons are just a bit more chunky, a bit more tastier in size. Now usually I would be so bothered about that, but you know what? They're Decepticons. I don't see why not. They are a smaller scale of deluxe-ish, kind of. Like, these two are deluxe, as you can see, much smaller. Especially Bumblebee here. But I do think they still work. They still work, and I ain't fussed. I'm happy with all three of them, and I'm glad I've got them all at last again. Like, third time lucky. I did have the original, well, no, it was a reissue of the Generation 1 versions. I had them as Insecticons for a long time. And I had the, if you remember from older videos, the Legacy sized ones. No, the Legend sized ones, not Legacy ones. These are Legacy ones. And now there's this trio, with Bombshell being the third one. Now we have had Ransack come out using this mould, so that leaves us what, Barrage and Chop Shop with Venom. Potentially maybe be done there, but I don't know what they'll do. There's been no plans. They've not mentioned Barrage or Chop Shop since they did Ransack, and Venom is usually nowhere to be seen because he's was it a Sideka? Although I suppose then again they might be able to use his mould to do, was it Cedacon from the Tripredacus Council and or Triple Dacus if you really want that version. But anyway, this is Bombshell's video. I'm deviating, and I always thought in my head as a kid that Bombshell was the leader of the trio, but it's actually Shrapnel. Now, I always think these two look very samey. It's funny how these two actually use some of the same but these kind of look the same. I don't know. Just a weird thing as a kid. And also Bombshell had a bit more of a leadership presence in the trio. That's how I always perceived it. I believe there's an episode where it's only Bombshell is being used to work with Megatron. I can't remember the name of the episode. There's one where he goes, "I love warping minds for you, Megatron." I know, it just seemed, I don't know, that more of a leader for that little faction. But officially it's him, with Venom being the overall leader of the Insecticons. Will we see what is dubbed as the clones, even though they've all been given individual names? So that to me would indicate they're in fact not clones, but that's how they're dubbed. You've got the dutifully named Shot Hole and the other two, which I cannot remember for the minute. Different colours of these. I can see that happening. I don't see why not. Now these three are out, just do the other three so we can build our Decepticon ranks, which are often suffering from being vastly outnumbered by the Autobots. Now, as you know, although however much I love Transformers the movie, I must admit I do detest that they changed these three independent characters, well, 5 in total if you include Thundercracker and Skywarp, into, well, a lot of them, the big debate, is Bombshell red? No, joking. Is Bombshell a sweep? Or is Bombshell actually Cyclonus? Now, he is at the foreground of the scene, and a lot of people say no, it's Skywarp. He's Cyclonus. Me, for a long time, I was very much on the Skywarp camp, and nowadays, because I actually don't like the decision that they took regarding taking away 3 great independent characters in the Insecticons and giving us just, well, an army builder with the sweep. Like Cyclonus and Scourge, they're great characters, and the idea of the sweeps I do like, but when you've got 3 great independent characters in the Insecticons, a great little faction in unto themselves, like they had many starring episodes before the movie, and they're just removed and replaced with characters. If they had just been killed, different story, but they are replaced with different characters, and they share none of the memories or anything from, like, let's say Cyclonus, for the sake of argument, let's say for this video, Cyclonus was Bombshell. They don't share anything in common. Maybe the colour purple, and let's say he's definitely not a bug. I just think it was one of those things. It just, in hindsight, years later, I don't like that they did it, and it's just kind of an annoying debate. Even the Rumble Frenzy thing's an annoying debate, and I'm just obviously joking because, you know, clearly, you know, Skywarp is blue, but that's by the by. So yeah, the big debate. I don't know where you stand. Put in the comments, like, who do you think it was? Like genuinely, or you're with me and you're like, why the hell did they do that? They should have just killed them, and it would have been better off. And they just had Unicron create Cyclonus and Scourge out of all the mangled dead bodies from, what's the planet at the beginning of the film? Doesn't matter. From that planet, let's say, or from whoever was, like, the original idea. I think they're all created from old Decepticon generals, and they're sort of merged into one, and you get a merger of some that become Cyclonus. Oh, he is on here, Scourge, and obviously Galvatron. So yeah, let's take a look at the toy. That's enough of the debate stage. So what do we get? Whole host of articulation with Bombshell here. This obviously caused a lot of debate about how people have this. Some people have it out of the way completely, which sort of shows a lot sick out there. But according to the animation model, it is actually meant to look like that. So that's how I will be displaying him. Like I said, probably the most interesting of the 3 Insecticons for me. Others might have differing opinion, but for me, definitely. Well, I happen to like the episode that Bombshell is more of a starring role in, working with Megatron, because they're often seen as, in pre the movie, they don't work with the Decepticons. They are very much their own thing, which always kind of bothered me, because whenever the Autobots got like a new guy or a new group, like, they were very much in the arc and working with them all times. Yeah, baddies are different, right? But it would have been nice if Megatron had bolstered his forces, and the Insecticons were probably in more episodes just being general troopers with Megatron. Heck, they can act like a Starscream in their own starring episodes from time to time. There's nothing wrong with that. So what does Bombshell come with? I have... Oh, hello, dropping it. I've already done the Evo Fusion. Yes, you can combine the standard weapon and 2 kind of gun leg accessories to make one Mega Blaster. So that's his standard gun, like so. And you can hold it normally. These, you know, they can go on the arms, they can go on the back here, whatever you want to do. In transformation mode, they do go on the back, like there. So, but you can have like arm blasters, like the Seekers do as well. All the same articulation, because he does share definitely a lot of parts with Shrapnel here. So the lower legs, well, actually the legs, almost entirely. But yes, almost entirely, yes, they are in fact identical, except for some colorations and paintwork and whatnot. And the lower part of the arm is the same as well, with The back panel clearly being different, head obviously being different, and the upper arms being different. But there we go. That is, well, predominantly of what we got with Bombshell. Great little figure. Fun Transformer, fun toy. Now let's transform him. Again, with most Insecticons, even from the original days, transformations were not hard. They were always very simple. So let's get him in bug mode. And here we have Bombshell in his not stag beetle. I think it's a rhino beetle. He's a stag beetle. He's a grasshopper. So yeah, that is Bombshell. And much like with Shrapnel, you can only put the gun on sort of one side, one leg. That's where the ports in the robot legs are. So you don't get that sort of nice asymmetrical look. So you need either two, or I think it would be nice if you had a slot in the middle. Or if you could extend the rhino horn on him somewhat. But yeah, that's him. Very simple, basic Transformer. And yeah, this is something that is fun for kids to just transform quickly and transform back again. There's no fiddly bits turning and twisting. Oh, that snapped off. This is a solid Transformer, and yes, I do recommend it. You know, he can't run his own casters on there at all. These things are meant to be sort of lined flat like that, but they don't really much look like bug legs if they're just tucked under. So if I ever have them in bug mode, which won't be very often, I'll have them out like that. So, you know, just sort of feels actually doesn't look like a cube with a stalk, basically. But all in all, I'm happy with it. I know some people grumbled and groaned that these two shared parts and whatnot. But for the sake of what they turn into, these are good. These are good bots, and I do recommend you getting a set of 3 yourself. So there we go. Don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and pick up Bombshell.